Karlik's Minecraft Story. Chapter 21. Chasing Through the Dark. The morning was quiet and cool. As the sun climbed above the rooftops, Karlik woke with a heavy feeling in his chest. Right away, he remembered the shadow he had seen last night. The strange steps outside. The rustling in the dark. One question pressed in his mind. Who was it? Kdacek was already awake, pacing around the room. He tried to look brave, but now and then his cluck jumped so high, it sounded more like a squeaky little chirp. Karlik smiled and patted his wing. Don't worry, buddy. Today we'll find out. After breakfast, Karlik packed a torch, some bread, and a small bag of berries. Kdacek stuffed so many berries into his beak he could hardly breathe, then stood proudly like a tiny adventurer ready for battle. Karlik laughed. Kdacek, you'd be funny even in the darkest cave. Outside, the footprints from last night were still clear in the soft dirt. They led from the house toward the forest, disappearing between the trees. All right, Karlik said quietly. Let's go. The forest greeted them with chilly air and long shadows. The deeper they walked, the thicker the silence grew. Every snap of a twig under Karlik's boots sounded like a drumbeat. Suddenly, Kdacek stopped and pointed a wing ahead. Broken branches, freshly kicked up dirt. Someone really had passed through here, and not long ago. Nice work, detective, Karlik whispered. Kdacek puffed up proudly and clucked like he had just solved the biggest mystery in the world. Soon, they reached a small clearing. In the center stood a strange little pile of dirt and stone blocks. It definitely hadn't been there yesterday. Karlik stepped closer, curious. What could this be? He murmured. Before he could finish, Kdacek hopped right onto the pile, spread his wings, and let out a dramatic cluck. The whole stack collapsed beneath him, and he vanished into a cloud of dust. Karlik panicked for half a second, then saw a tiny blue crest pop out of the rubble. Kdacek clucked happily, covered in dust from head to toe. Karlik burst out laughing, and for a moment, the worry was gone, but only for a moment. A sound echoed through the trees again, clearer now, coming from the north. They turned just in time to see a shadow slipping between the trunks. Quick, after it, Karlik called. They ran through the bushes until the footprints led them to a dark opening in the rock, a cave, tall, cold, and swallowing the daylight. Kdacek froze. Then, trying to be brave, he let out a loud cluck, so loud he scared himself. He jumped onto Karlik's shoulder and hid his head under his wing. Karlik took a deep breath. The footprints led inside. Kdacek, he said softly. Whatever is in there, that's where we'll find our answers. Kdacek trembled, but stood a little taller, as if trying to give Karlik courage too. Karlik raised the torch. The cold air rolled out of the cave like a whisper. Let's go, he murmured. Together they stepped into the dark, and the cave swallowed the world behind them.